Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I see a lot of familiar names and faces on the attendee list. I'm sorry I can't be with everybody in person, but I'm grateful that we have this technology to use. As I said, I'm the president and CEO of RSC Biosolutions. We are a global industrial biotechnology company. In the marine space, we're best known for our biodegradable lubricant technology. We're the only player focused largely on hydrocarbon and PAO related technology, which I'll talk about later, but it's unique in terms of its stability and compatibility and hasn't suffered some of the notable failures in certain soup systems that people have heard about. But today I've also been asked to talk about cleaning and disinfecting technology that's very relevant to the COVID-19 challenge. I'm going to begin by just touching on some of the big trends that we're dealing with in the industry, give you a little bit of a background of who we are, and then jump straight into the technology because I know we don't have a ton of time together. So to begin, the risks are just increasing globally, especially in this space. It's not just regulations, although regulations are increasing everywhere, but the concerns about environmental impact are increasing. And it's led to new metrics, whether that be carbon scores or trying to deal with incentives and stakeholders that care about new things and new risks. But operators in the marine space still have to manage their P&L and run their vessels and run their businesses. So how do you comply with these new metrics and new trends without compromising the operational requirements? 2020 specifically has brought on some new challenges, and those are a lot of the ones we're talking about today. Specifically around COVID-19, people are looking to figure out how to resume operations and continue operations with a new awareness towards safety and health of employees, of customers, of various people that interact with the operations. The other thing that we're seeing in 2020 is our partners and a lot of the players in the industry are really concerned about their supply base and how adaptable are they to a world that seems to be changing rapidly. So, our mission is to really talk about how to deal with these trends and deal with these risks without compromising performance or total cost of ownership. I think when people historically have considered environmental or green technologies, a lot of times the thought was, well, it's going to cost twice as much and work half as well, so I won't really use it if I don't have to. In particular, in lubricants, challenges with water, challenges with heat, not being globally available, all were limitations. But today, the technology has gotten to the point where you can actually increase performance even over traditional mineral oils. They drop into existing systems, they're globally available, and they present opportunities not only to address the trends, but to do it in a way that might actually bring performance advantages to the system. So, again, a lot of our mission is to help people and help our partners address these risks, but do it in a way that's smart for the business. And we have done it exclusively with bio-based or green technology. We think that's important. We think being deep in this space, and particularly going back 4 decades, is very important because understanding how these technologies work, being able to think about them in application is critical. Began for us 4 decades ago with a simple idea of better base oils and better additives can help us bring technology to the market that balances performance and environmental risk. And over these 4 decades, we've continued to innovate and build on top of that original idea. New hydraulic fluids, greases, gear oils, and again, we'll talk about cleaners and disinfectants in just a minute. But the point is, even though a lot of these technologies and the foundation of our hydrocarbon and PAO related solutions have been here for decades, we're continuing to innovate and we're always launching new technology to address new problems. Our focus, though, has always been on what we would describe as demanding applications and really demanding environments. When you look at these applications on the screen, some of them don't seem to fit together, but the fit is you have equipment operating in places where the risk of a spill is significant. It's problematic from a PR standpoint, it's problematic from a regulatory standpoint, but at the same time, you have equipment that is running day in and day out, and in some cases, a marine vessel that has to go 5 years before a major maintenance cycle. So you have to be able to perform. So then we think about how do we fit into the traditional applications, address these traditional fluids, but create smart alternatives that both perform and are sustainable. Performance, are all the traditional things? Is it effective? Is it cost efficient? Are the lubricants and cleaners durable and stable? But can you achieve things like biodegradability, minimally toxic, doesn't sheen in the water, which not only addresses regulations, but addresses that risk. And our offering, as I mentioned at the beginning, is centered in the marine space on lubricant technology. We have a complete offering of specialty and environmental lubricants, but our attention has really turned in recent months to our cleaners and degreasers, which are growing rapidly in response to the COVID-19 challenges. So what I'd like to do is quickly go deeper into 2 or 3 of these technologies, and then I think we'll be out of time and we'll get to questions. So the first thing I want to do is just talk quickly about what an environmental lubricant is. I think a lot of the audience knows what it is, but it's important to talk about it. We use the EPA's Vessel General Permit definition, which is readily biodegradable, degrades 60% in 28 days, minimally toxic, and non-accumulative in the water. We also have products that meet eco-label and have renewable content, but we try to make sure every one of our products meets this VGP requirement. And when you think about the different environmental lubricants on the market, there are 4 main types as defined by ISO. There are 2 that are predominantly used in the marine market. The synthetic esters and the PAO and synthetic hydrocarbon types are the ones that tend to perform in a marine application. The difference with the PAO and hydrocarbon type is it removes an inherent chemical weakness of an ester, an oxygen bond that tends to break down in heat and water. And the hydrocarbon is chemically very similar to the traditional petroleum fluids. And so what that means for us and for our customers is products that have stability to water, stability to heat, and compatibility with existing seals and systems, which is extremely important in getting to those 5 and 10-year dry docking cycles and minimizing the change costs. So we feel like these lubricants are best in class. We're known for our Futera and our Envirologic line for their stability, their ability to resist hydrolysis and oxidation. We have a long history in this space. We have some vessels that are going on 10 years. We have 60,000+ hours in demanding applications like an offshore drill ship. So these are proven with OEM approvals and with a long history in application without failure. So I want to transition quickly to 2 technologies that are becoming more relevant because of COVID-19. The first is a cleaner, a water-based, highly versatile cleaner, our Envirologic CSR 2000. Cleaning is very important to the disinfecting process. If you don't remove the grit and the grime from the surface, you basically have a host for pathogens. So this is an important first step. And like all of our technologies, it balances performance and environmental safety. The NSF ratings allows it to be used in areas where food contact is possible, and the biodegradability and VGP compliance makes a big impact in a marine application. Next is the BIOESQUE disinfectant solution. Really important right now is to have a product that meets as Boris said earlier from SaniSpray, the EPA's List N to address the SARS-CoV-2 virus that creates the coronavirus disease that we're dealing with today. This product does not require dilution, does not require PPE, and does not require rinsing even on food contact surfaces. So the cost to use it and the effectiveness is optimal, especially in a marine application where you don't have the same benefits from a service standpoint as you might have in other places. This is a very compelling technology in terms of its performance and ease of use. The other thing we mentioned Sani spray and Boris's presentation, which I thought was excellent. One nice thing about this technology is it works in a wide array of sprayers. It will be more effective in a sprayer like the one Boris was talking about, but it will work in all of them because of its composition, which makes it very versatile and, like a lot of our technologies, drop straight in to existing systems. And next, last in the case of what we're talking about today is the disinfectant coating. The potential for a 90-day disinfectant technology with continuous treatment is very compelling. We think this will be very interesting, especially for the cruise industry. Can't talk a lot about it today, but I'd love to talk about it with anybody that has some interest in a durable, continuous treatment. And then, just to sum it up, I know we need to go to questions, but we are globally available, focused on performance and sustainability and things that drop in or compatible to existing systems. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Look forward to questions, and feel free to reach out to me if there's anything you want to talk about that I couldn't get to in the short time.